All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Do we have anybody online you need to catch hold of?
Nope.
Nope. All right, establishment of a quorum. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Scott was voting last time. Is that correct? Somebody help me?
Time before, because I was out last time.
Yeah, I voted last time, so you can have the full.
Thank you.
All right, so Scott's in. Approval of minutes, March 23, 2026. I've read them over and didn't see anything jumping out at me on anybody else.
I didn't see anything wrong.
All right,
I move we accept the minutes of March 23rd as written.
I second that.
and discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Any opposed, say nay. As you go down that list of our agenda, we got old business, we have none. No old applications to go over and no new applications to go over for land use or development review. A CEO report, this is where you'll see some of the things like we were talking about beforehand, some of the stuff just Dave does automatic and
Right.
takes care of.
Yep.
And some of it has to come to us. We were tasked at one point with signage. And when we look things up, it's a CEO thing, not a planning board thing. I told them I didn't want to see any more applications for signage.
Signage. What kind of signage? Just like,
Like putting up a sign.
just a sign for your business or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a question. Wave fence.
Wave fence. Mhm.
This wave?
Yes, no, actually, basically what it is, it's kind of like a breakwater.
Yeah, erosion control.
ah,
Yeah.
It'll go from the shore or it'll go off from an existing dock. It will come out off that and do one of these things. And basically what it does is if we have a real bad wind storm coming in, it will kind of protect whatever's on the other side of that, so it isn't getting beat up quite so bad.
in lack of better terms, it's a reef.
Kind of, yeah,
Floating reef.
like a
Yeah.
floating reef.
Is it a temporary thing or does?
No,
Oh,
it'll
it's
be there.
floating, it's not built up with rocks all
No,
over.
it'll be filled up with rocks. It's.
Oh, okay, so it is.
Yeah.
So it's a permanent fixture.
Yes,
And that only requires CEO approval.
yep. DEP signed off it because it's not a dock.
Right,
Does the harbor master need to sign off on it?
This was over on Acre Island, so.
If it was on Islesboro, would the harbor master need
Yes.
to sign off on it?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's if it's fixed, especially because it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hazard
Corps of
navigation or
Engineers,
something.
DEP,
right.
right,
everybody else.
not in the path of normal traffic.
Yeah, you don't need, yeah, navigational hazard, yeah. Interesting.
All right,
They had a pretty good loss a couple years ago from storms over there.
capsize a boat.
Boats and other things got tore up and the engineers
Hmm.
convinced them that this will help mitigate some of that if it happens in the future, so.
Yeah,
Is that on, that's on the other side of 700?
Yeah, over on the Emery's property.
just for Scott to look at sometime, what's the page number he goes to find out what for responsibilities in our book?
I don't know what the page number is, but if it's in the land use.
In the binder, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the land use, it's right near the
Yeah, right
second
in
first.
the-
Yeah,
Yeah, it's right.
I read through it,
Planning board
I
do
should
these,
do it again.
CEO do
I did
these.
read through it once. Very fun.
I read through it a couple times, I don't know where to find it.
It's near the front.
I was taking my law degree, I've been studying it, you know, extensively, memorizing every page.
Yeah, okay. I choose not to clutter my memory with that, my memory's bad enough as it is. Although I do remember my phone number growing up, my friend's phone number.
Isn't that great? I do too.
I do too.
Yeah,
That's forever etched in.
makes a
there.
great pin, by the way.
It's a great hint.
It is.
Pin makes a great pin.
Oh, pen.
Yeah.
All right. I don't see anybody wishing to address the planning board. and correspondence, we got Dave Dyer with a review of fee schedule, which he's now telling us that is
Not
already.
proposed.
Yeah, that went a little further than,
It's no longer proposed.
Really?
yeah.
It's done.
I presented this to the select board. Back on April sixth. Now, if you guys remember right, probably 2 or 3 planning board meetings ago, I said,
You mentioned
keep in
it.
mind, we've had the same fees since two
Right.
thousand
All
nine.
right.
You mentioned it. Yeah.
Well, the select board apparently got on board with that too, and they wanted to see something. So I went ahead and I looked through similar towns in the area, population size, and I went through Northport, Lincolnville, North Haven, Vinyl Haven, looked at what they were charging for stuff, and I basically just brought us in line with the surrounding area. We were bargaining on some stuff, I can tell you that. And anyhow, I presented that to the select board as proposed with my intentions of,
Some modification.
yeah. I assumed that they were gonna table it and have further questions, but they went ahead and approved it all. So as of July 1st, these are the new planning board fees.
Wow.
Thank you for doing that, Dave.
Yeah.
And the town doesn't have to vote on this at all?
Nope, because 3 years ago at town meeting, it was voted on to remove the fee structure from the ordinances. And that gives the select board the power to set fees without taking it back to town vote.
I could see where this could be interesting discussion at a town hall. It could really get into the weeds really quickly.
Yeah.
Some people are not gonna, on certain ones, they will object to it, but.
Then don't do it.
Right, yeah, right. Just don't do it.
That makes it short and sweet.
But as I said, and more than likely the logic was because, as I said, they hadn't been changed since 2009. It's because prior to that, the only way to change them was to take it to town meeting.
Right, and it's been in the ordinance book as a fee for a
Right.
certain amount.
So at the town meeting 2 years ago, the voters approved to take the fee schedule out of the ordinance and give the power to the select board to set fees.
And that was a planning board recommendation.
Mhm.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've slept since then. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's been a few years. The only other thing that I have for you guys, and it's not really an official correspondence or anything like that, it's kind of like fees, I wanna put it into your orbit and just get you thinking about it.
He's gonna raise something up the flagpole, see if we see it.
The dock that you folks approved, a couple meetings ago for the Duchess.
Yeah.
Okay. If they hadn't made that split in their land the way they did, and made a separate plot, they wouldn't have been able to put that dock on
Yeah.
that property because of, the ordinance is
One
very
lot.
clear, one per lot.
Yeah.
Okay. They did that probably a year before they even applied for any of the permits. I mean,
So it was planned.
somebody had a plan, so they knew what they were gonna do and they did it anyway. And that's fine. They did it legally. Everything still met whatever you guys do. It occurs to me, though, that might be a loophole that other people could take advantage of. And there's a lot of people out here with the means to take advantage of a loophole and work around like that. It may be time for the planning board to revisit the ordinances on docks and piers on private property and see if maybe there could be some language in there to make it a little bit harder to work around, like stuff like that, before you get a trend going,
Yeah.
which I can tell you right now, I've already had an inquiry about a second dock on a piece of property. And when I told them that the ordinance said no, it's one, well, what if person that owns the property gives me an easement to build a dock. Not when, an easement doesn't negate an ordinance.
Yeah,
Unless the easement is to somebody else's property.
Well,
And
that's
they
it.
allow, and so you build the dock.
Well,
on
that's,
that other
that's,
person's
that's the
property.
scenario that
Yeah.
they're trying to do. One person has property across the street,
Yeah.
no waterfront, but they want a dock. Person across the street has waterfront, but they already have a dock.
Oh,
Share the dock.
no, they won't do that.
So, and when I said, no, I'm sorry, an easement doesn't
yeah. No, it
negate,
still doesn't
negate,
fix it.
negate the ordinance.
Mhm.
The next response I got was, oh, okay, well, we'll just split a piece up then. Do it that way.
Which if they split off,
If they do it just like the Duchess did.
it doesn't even
completely
have to be that
legal.
big, right?
It meets all your requirements.
There's a minimum ocean size,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Is there, what's,
Acre and a half.
oh, acre and a half?
No, but isn't there a minimum on the ocean?
Yeah, it has,
size?
you have to have 150, at least 150 feet of
Waterfront.
So
waterfront.
they'd have to split
And
off a hundred.
So it would have to be a legal size lot that they did, but when I say they have the means to do it,
Right,
just because it's one person on this side of the street and one person on this side of the street, yes, two separate owners, but it's all same family.
right.
Have we seen
So
any
that-
issues where having a lot of docks
Is it-
in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, we could end up looking like,
Right, and that's why I'm just putting this out there to you guys.
Yeah.
It might be something you wanna look at. Okay,
Yeah.
I talked to the town attorney. A moratorium is possible. It would have to come from you folks, and she's more than willing to write up stuff for you to look at.
And a moratorium,
But basically, a moratorium would say,
Give you the time.
no more docks and piers on private land for,
extended period of time,
or
whatever.
a moratorium is usually 180 days.
Okay,
Okay, and that gives you time to look over your ordinances and see if there's any language needs to be changed. If you can't get done what you want to get accomplished in that 180 days, you go to the select board. And the select board will either approve another 180 days. You can do it in 6 month lots.
Right.
Okay, because obviously you're not gonna get anything in front of the voters at the town meeting this year
no,
for an ordinance change, so you're gonna need some time to review. But it's, like I say, it's something you might wanna just look at the language that you've got and see if you could come up with something else that would make it, if they're gonna split a piece of land off with the sole purpose of putting a dock on it, have a waiting period, something like that before you can actually do
my biggest vision on how this thing happens, or way if this goes through and gets a continuous thing, is at what point when somebody sells that property, do they combine the whole thing again?
Yeah.
Now you got,
Well, if they split it off though, right, if you split off the 150 feet that is required. You'd have to, if it's a family member, it's a different thing, so if it's like the son of the,
Yeah.
the owner or whatever, and he gets this 150 feet, and that's his house, and he's now built the dock, and then you're talking about bringing it all back together under one at the end, and
Right.
having the whole thing.
yeah,
And they got two docks, yeah, interesting.
And if it's,
I
and with state regulations and everything else, if it's just a family, if it's all one family, and they're just splitting up, okay, you can have this piece, you can have this piece, it doesn't even trigger the subdivision laws.
up to so many.
No, family divisions don't,
Oh, is that right?
yeah, family divisions don't.
So
trigger
if
subdivision.
Losi, for example, decided it was all for family, he wouldn't have to go through all that whole stuff?
Wow. So as long as so if you split it, is there a lot restriction size? Is it an acre and a half?
Well, yeah, they all have to be legal lots.
Right, so if you had 6 acres, you could split it off into 4 separate units and.
Yep.
As long as it's in the family, you could build 4 houses and.
So, is it part of, the harbor master, I imagine, takes into consideration if a dock,
It's gonna-
an additional dock would, get in the way of, navigable. Yes,
Yes.
I had it, waters.
Yeah, that's what he's looking
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and if it would,
That's,
then he would not endorse it.
Right.
that's pretty tough though to put that, because.
Well,
Over here.
there are communities that are in the area, I think, Northport, and isn't it Lincolnville, that you don't
Lincolnville.
wanna have any
Yeah,
more,
Lincolnville put
docks?
a moratorium on 2 years ago, I think.
And
yeah.
it's still a moratorium?
I don't know if it's still active or not, but that's why they did it. They did it to reevaluate their ordinances and.
That sounds like it's worth it. And
And I say,
probably
it's just something I want you guys to think about, and, if you wanna take it further, then I would suggest maybe Evan Bill or Isabel or somebody reach out to Kristen Collins and see what's involved and how much public notice has to be go out and things like that, and
Before a
before a
moratorium.
moratorium.
And then it has to go before the select board.
Select board have to approve it, make the final approval on it, but.
I mean, maybe something where it would prevent the lots from being combined again.
Yeah.
And then somebody with that would be like, oh, I don't wanna risk that,
Right,
and wouldn't do it then.
that's what I'm saying.
That takes away
There
what I
should,
was looking at,
there
right?
should be some language in there that makes
Get
it
into
not
some-
so easy to work around.
I think it gets into some odd stuff too, though, because a lot of these family, locations, even like the Duchess, for example, I mean, that's all held in a trust.
Yeah.
But the houses and the lots are in different, like the red roofed house is in a different name than the main house, and so, but they're all in a trust, so it gets wonky, because that trust can still move the property. Depending on what type of trust the trust is set up. So it's interesting, there's some layers there that definitely require an attorney to look into before we'd start, and that would, if that's something we wanted to do, you'd have
Well,
to
you
have.
make the family get together and use your same dock. Okay, you don't talk to each other. Go on a different day.
Maybe sometimes it's easier said than done.
Oh.
Force them back together.
It's probably a lawyer thing to talk about, and, I guess to do a moratorium, is that within our power to do that without town meeting?
Yes,
But needs select board.
but it does need select board. You as the planning board would take it to the
Take
select
it to
board
the
and
select
say,
board.
we wanna do a moratorium for 6 months on our dock.
That would mean no more,
Docks on
that
private
would
property.
mean no more canceled meetings until that thing was resolved.
Well, so let me ask you, so that would be for private,
Problem.
so only if you have a pre-existing dock on that private, so if you have a private and you meet all the requirements, that's not a moratorium on putting a dock in. If there's not a
No,
pre-existing,
it would be
all docks.
all docks
Mhm.
until the ordinance.
I don't think that's fair.
Oh, why not?
Because
They
if I-
haven't been,
if I have a-
they don't have an application in.
Well, but if I have 4 acres of land and I wanna put a dock in, I don't want, and I meet all the
You know what,
requirements.
the minute this word gets out, we're gonna see applications coming.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
doubt
so
it.
don't worry about that. The folks who really want a dock will submit an
And have
application.
200 grand.
Mhm.
And have 200 grand to,
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
or more,
Yeah.
they're not cheap,
No,
But
It's
yeah, I
interesting,
mean,
though. That's-
the moratorium would be for
for all docks, yeah, I
all.
know,
You
that's a tough one.
you can't do
Good thing
one
about
without
that.
the other.
That's tough, 'cause
See,
that's telling
and-
people that
and
they can't do.
this is headed to where have always been thinking about with, where do we draw the line with
Yeah.
drilling wells?
Yeah.
And who's gonna tell the people out there, we've got a moratorium on drilling wells? And what does that do to your property value
Right,
when you don't have a well on your property?
right.
There are communities out there that have put moratoriums on new construction, single family residences.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know,
You know, just because the impact it's having to the community. When I lived out in Washington State, the town I lived in out there, when you went and applied for a building permit for a new home, not only did you have to pay all the permit fees and all that stuff, they hit you with a $7,500 impact fee. Because you're bringing new children into the school district, you're bringing new.
Well, maybe we should start paying people to bring people into our
Yeah.
school district instead of charging. We give you $7,500 if you come here.
But of course, you know, back, the population of one of the high schools was
Yeah.
like 5,000 people.
5,000, yeah.
So, and it's not like,
Might building
Big
another
area.
addition, yeah.
Gary,
That's
you
a
see, we have somebody visiting.
And Bob.
Yes. I let
Hey,
him.
Bob.
Hello there.
anyway, I just wanted to get that out to you guys.
Yeah.
It's, I notice that this could be a trend starting, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's some thought.
And it's not saying no more docks, it's saying no more docks for X amount of
Time
time,
until we
so.
make sure we're doing this the right way, that's actually gonna.
Excuse me, I'm gonna take things out of order. Bob, did I see you looking for somebody to repair a tire?
Yes, thank you.
Has that been taken care of?
No,
All right, I found my patch, my plug kit, so, I mean, I could probably take care of that for you.
well, that's very kind. Where can we can talk offline and
Yeah. I just wanted to see if I remembered the name right and what I saw, so.
you did. Thank you.
I'm not.
All right, we'll go back on
What a
topic.
friendly town this is.
You got that, Gary?
We'll go back on topic. So, where do we go from here with this,
Now, it's basically, I've just put it in your lap.
right?
So would it be, go to the select board first, then go talk to an attorney?
I think the first thing to do would be look at the ordinances and see what they said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's where I would start,
And
start reviewing the ordinances, see if you can brainstorm and come up with some language or something like that.
I think also it'd be important to have like some kind of case, not a case study necessarily, but something that to illustrate to the select board, this is why we're recommending this.
I think that would come from Dave as far
Right.
as that.
Right. We'd have to build that story. Dave, I assume you'd probably want to be with the planning board to help present this if it's something that we are really concerned about. Interesting.
Cause I honestly, if I've got somebody that I caretake for that's trying to look into splitting their property out for kids. And that would mean another dock might possibly go in at some point. And whether they would do it and jump on it, but, you know, get it while you can kind of thing, I don't know, but.
Well, the beauty of that is the DEP doesn't rush.
Nor do we, I don't think, but.
No matter how much money they have and how quick they want it done, the DEP doesn't
So,
care.
so I think the first step is to look at the ordinances and see what they say, see if, what we see, you know, as. I don't have a lawyer's mind sometimes, but I try to see what they'll say. And I'm certainly one that is not anti-government, but,
Well, you know, I've said it before, the planning board isn't the moral compass of the island. You know, you're not here to decide, well, yeah, okay, yeah, it meets the ordinances, but we're not gonna approve it anyway, because we don't, you know, you're not gonna do that. If it meets the ordinances, you're
you've
gonna
got to
approve it.
say, yeah.
But that's where sometimes you have to go back and look at the ordinances.
Yeah.
Maybe we need something with a little more teeth in it.
I think it's a good recommendation to look at.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
And march forward from there. The first step is that.
So should we all look at this? It's pretty poor.
Yeah, there ain't a whole
I
lot.
don't have it in front of me. I think maybe next meeting we could have a copy of the whole thing in front of us. And, you know, do your homework if
Yeah,
you
I'd
want.
like to take a look at the ordinance as just
Yeah.
research
If
it.
you wanna do
Got
like
you
you
a little
did
bit
with
more.
the LD 2003 and have a little subcommittee
Yeah,
working on it or something.
Well, we'll try a meeting first. We'll try a meeting first, and if it's decided that we wanna step this up, and yeah, we'll set up a subcommittee and go for it. That's why I hate committees. I really do, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think not only reviewing the ordinances, but also looking at the case study that, just the one that just occurred.
Mhm.
Cause that was very smart on their part. Right, but I can see where it could end up in a different situation. But I hate to restrict that kind of development when it's private land, they own it. It doesn't interfere with navigational. If it's not a navigational hazard, then, and they have the frontage, then who are we to say, no, you can't do that? You're getting a really fine,
Yeah.
very fine line.
But
I
with that
also-
said, is there a way that we can say, yes, you can do this, but you can't do this afterwards?
Transfer ownership or something like
Yeah.
that, but that's, I don't know.
I mean, when they bought Northeast Point, I don't know who bought Northeast Point. Was that Northeast Point already sectioned off into
Yeah,
different
that
laws?
was an
That
approved,
was approved subdivision, right?
that was an approved subdivision.
And that got shut down because of water, right? Pretty much the.
No, actually,
So,
I
Nobody
think,
bought the lot.
yeah, nobody bought the lot.
technically, according to what you said,
2000,
before they enclosed it all, they could have put a dock on each and every one of those.
2008 though.
Probably not,
Year for railroad
because not all of them were water frontage,
Oh,
and
okay.
not all of them met the same,
They were big lots. too.
yeah, they were
10
big lots,
10 or
but not
15
all
acre
of them
lots,
have
I
water
think.
frontage.
I see, okay.
You know,
But technically could have with the water frontage at
Yeah.
proper water frontage.
so you could have had,
I thought there was something about water, that there wasn't enough water to support the subdivision
Well water,
Well water.
aquifer.
aquifer.
Yeah, that's the. I think that was part of it,
Yeah, there was definitely
which
something.
also led me to, when do we decide we stop letting people drill wells?
Right.
And again, what is that gonna do to your property value?
Yeah.
Who's gonna make that decision?
Have to have a new study. The last one was 1995.
Yeah, I mean, if you have enough land and you want to put a second house up and you don't want to risk one well, you drill a second well. Separate septic. Now, when you start getting into that,
But it recycles septic to the well.
it's really good. It's an added value.
That's not out of the
I know.
realm of
Not-
possibilities.
Not all testing, and our well and our septic are right next door to each other. So notice my happy look in my fresh.
Maybe you found the fountain of youth.
Yeah,
That's what.
yeah, particularly for my one eye.
hey, Hughes Point Clan, it used to be the best one done.
Interesting. All right, so review ordinances and we'll have, what we're gonna do another
That's homework.
talk next time.
Yeah, I think that was what we'll try to do. At least see what we came up with.
And Dave, is it possible for you to kind of, I know you framed it up pretty good, but is there a way that you can kind of give us a case study of where this, a little bit more detail about how this
I
could
can
go
put something
south
together.
Yeah.
I can put something together.
without naming?
And I
names?
may even, I'll reach out and see if I can get copies of ordinances from other communities to see what they're doing.
And just from a perspective of the meeting itself, should this be an offline meeting?
That would, no.
Because we
No,
talk-
can't do
You
that.
can't do that, it can't
No.
be, because we're talking speculative, it has to all be.
If three of us get together in the parking lot, it becomes a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
freedom of act, a freedom of information issue, so
That's why I asked the question, that's fine.
more than two of us can't be seen together talking about town stuff.
You'll hear all about it on Thursday.
Yes.
Well, that's why I gotta go to that planning session, right, or that training. That's why I asked the question, okay.
Yeah. Yes,
So Bob joined in after you invited people to address the planning board. I don't know if you want to.
sure, we'll give them an opportunity. Bob, we, opened the floor a little while ago for anybody wishing to address the planning board. Would you like to address us on anything?
Oh, you're
Can't
muted.
hear you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really was just interested in knowing what you all do.
So are we sometimes.
Hopefully we impressed.
So let me ask a question, David. how much property does one have to have a second residence on it?
Depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're in the shoreland zone, each residence has to have an acre and a half.
Okay,
And 150 feet
And
of
hundred and fifty
waterfront.
feet of water frontage and 150 feet of road frontage.
okay. Can we, what does it take to get permission to put a second well and septic system in?
As long as they meet with the well, right now, Islesboro doesn't require a permit for a well.
So it's just a setback.
So, right, so, the septic would require a permit, and if you can find someone to design you a system that meets all the setbacks, then
No problem. Got
no
it.
problem.
I'm not planning on anything. I just wanted to know. Thank you. In case my daughter says she wants to move to Maine, that's all.
Right,
That's,
yeah, when they did, a couple of years ago, when they did the affordable housing, changed the law, the density laws and things like that, they kind of excluded shoreland from that, because they figured if you're gonna build an affordable house, you're probably not gonna do it on the waterfront.
Right, right.
unless you did it in 1967.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, they're also trying to protect the quality of water.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I would bring your survey in and just sit down with Dave.
Thank you, Wendy. I've got 7 acres, so I'm sure.
Yeah, he's good.
600 feet, so I'm sure I'm okay. Thank you.
Welcome, thank you for the question. All right. Are we ready to move on? Have we,
Yes, I have a hat to wear.
you have a hat to wear, okay. So I got no additional business, that about covered it. Now we're just looking for a motion to adjourn
Remove, adjourn.
I'll second that.
and discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you all.
See you, Bob.
Thank you. Bill, how do I get a hold of you?
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
I'm in the